Hey there, it's Jerry Smith. If you're a real estate agent right now and you've got a property listed and maybe you're having a difficult time attracting a buyer to this home, before you do a price reduction, pay attention to this video. What I'm about to show you is a strategy that is absolutely perfect for this market to help attract buyers and really conquer the fear that they are dealing with right now as far as buying a home. So pay attention to this presentation. It's going to take a couple minutes. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do this, and hopefully it will create a couple more deals for you this year. Okay, so what I'm about to walk you through is the presentation that's going to show you how this strategy works. So basically, the best way to do it is to give you a real life example of how this can work for a property that is listed right now and how it can help a buyer. So this first column right here, this is going to show you if a home was had a sales price of $250,000, and let's say that the down payment that they were using was a 5% down conventional loan. What that would look like from a loan amount standpoint would be the $237,500, and let's just say that from an interest rate standpoint, the interest rate was 5.875% based on a 30-year fix. Now we're disclosing APR because we have to disclose it, and then the term here, 360, that's the number of months in a 30-year mortgage, so that's why it's shown that way. The cash to close shown here is basically the 5% down payment plus all closing costs, prepaid, setting up the escrow account, just giving people a pretty reasonable idea of what out-of-pocket expenses might look like. This one right here is really what most buyers are very concerned about right now, is monthly payment and how that impacts their budget. They have the fear of interest rates rising and values rising and how that is impacting their purchasing power. So what we're going to look at is how can we combat that. All right, so if the seller sold this house and they did not do a price reduction and they did not pay any closing costs, their net proceeds would basically be $250,000 before expenses. All right, so let's look at the alternative. Let's say that you do a price reduction down to $243,000, which happens to be a $7,000 price reduction. Let's see how that benefits a buyer in today's market. Basically, what it's going to do to the loan amount is it's obviously going to decrease the loan amount. The 5% down is going to be based on the 243, so they're going to be borrowing less money, but it's not going to do anything to the interest rate, and that's very important in this situation. What's it going to do to their cash to close? It's going to change it by $300 basically, because their out-of-pocket expenses are really only going to change by the down payment difference between $250 and $243, which is not going to be a considerable amount of money. But this is really the one I want to focus on here, the $1,830 versus the $1,870. So doing a $7,000 price reduction only benefited the borrower $40 per month as it relates to their purchasing power and what they feel every single month. But what it did to the seller is it was a direct $7,000 cost to only benefit the buyer $40 a month, and that might not be enough to make up a difference to really pull that contract together. So what we're going to show you is an alternative. We're going to show you how you can keep the price at $250, and instead of doing a price reduction, you don't reduce the price, you use the money as a sales concession. So think of it as seller paid closing costs. However, in this situation, the buyer could use those closing cost concessions that the seller is going to provide them and buy the interest rate down. So in this situation, when I ran the numbers, it was going to buy the interest rate down a full percentage point. Okay, so basically what we're comparing now is this first column and this third column. They're borrowing the $237,500, but look at what it is going to do to the monthly payment here. That monthly payment is reducing down to $1,722 from the $1,870, making a huge difference in their monthly payment. Now, they will feel $148 per month. Cash to close didn't change a bit, and as far as from the seller's perspective, even though their net is down to the 243, just like if they did a price concession, what this is allowing that 243 net proceeds to do is make this contract more powerful and allow that buyer's buying power to increase as if it was 3 or 4 months ago when rates were 4.875. So this is just a strategy. Instead of doing a price reduction, think of how can we do a sales concession potentially, and allow the buyer to buy their interest rate down and really take care of what they are scared of right now, which is higher rates, higher values, and obviously that is impacting their buying power. Now the fourth column is there for informational purposes, but this is really a powerful column to show people, because basically if you have a buyer and their budget or maybe their top end approval amount is around 1722, what does that mean as far as purchasing power with today's rates? That means that their top end sales price would be around 223 instead of 250. So what does this strategy also do? This strategy allows for someone that's maybe a $225,000 buyer in this market, allows them to buy a 250 house and their payment not change a bit. So these are just some things to kind of think about. And again, if you've got a specific situation that you want to see, let me know and I'll be glad to help you with that. Okay, we'll talk to you soon.
I hope this has been helpful for you. If you've got any questions about how to do this, or maybe it's very specific to a property that you're dealing with right now, don't hesitate to give me a call, 706-594-1306, or shoot me a message and I'll be glad to help you out. We'll talk to you soon.